Okay, so I'm going to start us off tonight, and I'm going to start us off with prayer. How about that? I think that's a fantastic idea. So we're going to pray over our time, and then we'll start talking about some goal setting and all that good stuff. So, okay. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for this community of leaders, Lord God, and this community of people who have a heart to serve you, but also to help others. And I ask that you would just bless each of us, not only in our own home lives and our health, but also in the lives that we touch and speak through us when we do that. And we ask that your wisdom and guidance be over this time and help us to be profitable and effective over the time that we have. In Jesus' name, amen. There was another word that I was thinking of for that. I couldn't think of it. But that's okay. Okay, so goal setting. Cindy, have you got some goals that you've been thinking about over the next couple months with your business?
I'll just say it.
Very good.
Yes, I want to be gold.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm really going to start working more towards that. So,
okay. So you have this, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have it to where, like, do you have it tangibly that you could grab it for tonight?
I think I have it in my phone.
Because we're going to use this and start. As much as I don't want to write on mine because it's so pretty, I'm going to write on it. But we're going to work on setting some goals because, like Cassie and I were talking this month, even though like December, we have so many, like, people are thinking of Christmas gifts, they're thinking of New Year's, all the different things. We have a huge challenge that's coming up in New Year's with the reset, and we know that people typically in the New Year's have the heart for change at that point, and they have goals that they want to meet. So we need to be preparing ourselves for that. We need to be mentally thinking of how we can help others achieve that. And so I think making a tangible goal that we can put in front of us and have to remind us is going to be really empowering to you and to me and to all of us, and also be powerful in just having that visual. So what I am setting mine for, there we go. I'm going for Ruby, and I'm planning on reaching that in January. So what do you think, Cassie? Just put like the 31st or whatever, like just 131 by the end of January. That will be my goal, because that kind of was my thought process on that.
Yep. And then if that's the case, then when do you want to hit Senior Ruby and Emerald? Like, go ahead and set those dates too.
Okay. Yeah. So this is how I'm writing it, Cindy, and I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that okay? Yeah. Okay. I don't have my light up here tonight, so I feel like it's extra dark. So sorry. But I'm going to put that on there and then take some time. So let's take just a couple minutes and look over. Oh, there's Hannah. Yay. Yay. So, hi, Hannah. Oh, look at that beautiful tree behind you.
Oh, I love it.
It was in the mailbox.
I got mine over there too.
I'm so happy. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're
That was
welcome.
a happy come home too.
No, I love it.
Oh, I love
I
it.
was hoping everybody would get it and not see the word until they, but it's all good.
Yeah. I know. I saw Shara's. I was like, oh.
I waited a few days to post because I was going to post about it, but I had waited because I wanted to make sure I didn't spoil somebody's surprise. But then I saw Shara's and I was like, it's fine. We're just going to leave. So it's good. she was just excited, as she should be.
Yes.
So what we're doing is we're doing our rank up graphic. Can you hear me very well? Okay, hold on. I'll just turn it off. Try that. Can you hear me better?
Bam, girl. It's like the speaker just went like,
Sorry.
That's
Blow
okay.
your ears out, Kathy.
no, it's good.
Okay,
I just
we'll
had
do
you
this.
at full blast.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I forgot to remind you to turn it down. Okay, so we're going to do our rank up roadmap. So if you have it tangibly to where you can use it, we're going to take a couple minutes and we're going to start marking where we want to go over the next few months. I'm going the opposite direction of my thinking. So we're going to take a few minutes and kind of start doing some physical goal setting and start putting some realistic dates by those goals. Okay, so let's do that for like 3 or 4 minutes.
I'm going to grab food because I haven't ate for like hours, but I will listen in. But I just walked through the door.
Okay, sounds
I'm
good.
so glad you popped on.
Me too.
Okay, ladies, you got your dates?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to show you mine. So we talked about it. I'm going to go this way. So Ruby by January, Senior Ruby by March, and then Emerald by July of 2023. So Cindy, what about yours?
I have gold by January, senior gold by July.
Awesome, girl. That's great. Cassie, what's yours?
All right. So Emerald this month, because we dropped 2 months. So Emerald this month. And then I have Sapphire by April. And then Diamond by July.
I'm very excited about that.
Okay,
That is awesome. Okay.
I know.
So now from where do we go? Right? So how do we go from where we are right now to moving towards those goals? So some of the things that we have this month is what we already talked about. We have the let's see here. We have all of the gift packages that are available for people. We have the wand, which is huge. We still have the glow and the caramel protein. So we have all of those things plus
in January, our whole team is doing a huge reset. So like a reset challenge. So that will be something that people want to get this month to be able to have it by next month, because I'm pretty sure the reset challenge is going to be like the first week, maybe a little bit like towards the end. I don't know if do we have specific dates yet, Cassie?
No, but I have a feeling that we're going to close up December strong. And so I wouldn't minimize your bigger goals, because all those people after Christmas are going to be feeling good, and we're going to be posting about reset and all of that. And so they're going to be ordering December 31st. And so you're going to have a floodgate of people. And because they always do it usually the first week in January. So I guarantee that's just my guess.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. I know last year, whenever I got finished with Christmas, I was so done with food and ready to do something different. So we need to be advertising it. We need to be talking about how we're feeling through the month. I've been trying to do that a lot with I did a live today. I don't know if anybody had a chance to watch it, but I basically said, in years past, I have always felt like crap this month, specifically towards the end of this month. And I have always thought I was going to push myself into being a diabetic, because diabetes runs really heavily in my family. And I always worried about that this month specifically, because of how many sweets we're exposed to and all that stuff. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I am actually controlling what I eat. I'm doing the reset in the middle of the month to help my body kind of clear out, like all these different tools that I have that are making me feel like I'm actually enjoying the month instead of regretting the month. And so getting on there and posting about that, doing lives about it, or even just adding to our stories of that we're taking to change how we can feel. And then tying that in with some testimonies with the reset and things like that, and starting to talk about the reset challenge that we're going to do in the beginning of January. Because I think that is going to be very, very helpful. So yes, Cassie says, get how adding silvers. So when we get to looking at our dashboard and going through our back office, think of different people who, specifically in my mind, the people that stick out to me are people who have been taking their products consistently. So if you look at your people who have been taking products consistently, that is who you want to reach out to and say, hey, we have a huge reset challenge coming up. How many of your friends do you think would want to jump in with you and do it with you? And we're going to make a huge group. It's going to be big. Last year when we did it, I think we had like a couple $100 somebody won. So like, it's going to be big and it's going to be really powerful. And so starting to reach out to your customers who have consistently ordered, or who want to consistently order and just haven't been able to do that yet, you can pull them in and say, hey, this is a great opportunity to bring people alongside you, get your products paid for, and be able to do the reset all together. So I would definitely say, Cassie, do you want us to work on it right now? Or do you want us, I know you have a lot to go over with your intention stuff. Do you want us to do some of that right now?
Let's go ahead and log into your back office, and I want you to find at least 1 to 3 people you can help go silver this month. We're only going to take, it should only take, let's say 5 at 9:25. Will be done. So that gives everybody 4 minutes to log in and kind of quickly look who you can help. And as a level 1, who you can help go silver.
So you don't have to do anything with them right now, but write them down. Maybe write them down, jot it down, the names. So then you know who you're contacting in the next 24 hours to start talking about and seeing if you can get an event for them. If, if they need an event, maybe they just need to text their friends. They may not even need an event. So I know, isn't it Megan Goff that said that she just started having people text people? So it doesn't have to be an event. So, okay, let's do that for the next couple minutes. Let's log on to our back office and see who we have that we can think of that would be a good potential.
Yep.
One thing I was going to mention that I wanted to encourage you guys with is when you're looking through these names, don't think about it for us, think about it for them. Because I know there's a couple of people I have on here that are struggling with paying for their products, and they've talked to me about it. And so this could be huge for them to bring alongside their friends who have health goals and want to see their health change. So keep that in mind too. We have 1 more minute.
Then I'm going to have each one of us role play in asking each other how we would help somebody get their products covered with that conversation.
Okay. So Cassie, what did you say? We're going to role play?
Yep. So we're each going to take turns on talking, because did everybody get 1 to 3 people written down
Yep.
to go silver? Yeah. I'm just assuming Hannah's shaking her head. Yes. I love it. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to role play, or she's eating, you know, I totally get it. We're going to role play, and as in, I'm going to have, Cindy, I'm going to have you ask Julia, about how, Julia's struggling with getting her products covered. You now are going to, talk to her and have that conversation of how you can help her get her products covered. So how would that sound right now, Cindy? Let's have the conversation with Julia. Go for it. You can do it.
Grat's got to stop talking to her though.
I know.
Actually, that was my daughter, and I told her to mute her stuff.
Oh,
I almost said Jessica. I almost said it. That's funny.
how funny. All right, go for it, Cindy.
Okay. Okay. Julia, I know you've been struggling, and I have a way that you can get your products paid for. Would you like to know more information?
I think so. Yeah, sure.
Then what?
That's something else.
She's like, I know there's something else I'm supposed to say here.
There is. Let me see.
Is it hard? What do I have to do is hard? Does it mean I have to sell something? Because I'm not a salesperson. Cindy, did you think I was gonna make this easy on you?
No. No.
It's okay.
Good.
This is the best. Learning from
This
us
is,
together.
for sure.
Going to help. So you're doing great.
I have it. I just gotta find it.
You're okay.
I'm enjoying my restore while
I
you
just
find it.
took mine too. What does your gut say you should say right now? She just said, I don't want, do I have to sell anything? I'm not a salesperson.
I'm not a salesperson either.
There you go.
What else would you say? How would you help her get her products covered?
Do you have 3 friends that that you know of that want to do this with you?
Maybe I could probably think of 3 people that the products could help. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Then yeah, I can think of 3 people. I mean, who wouldn't want it?
Yeah.
Right?
So then what's the next step after that? What do you have for
Yeah.
you then?
What is the next step?
See, but this is where we help each other.
This is
Okay, so this is really good, but let's back up. So when we're inviting people to what we have to help them get their products covered, it's more of like, hey, Julia, I see you struggling. And I know that we had the conversation before you got started and because we should be having this conversation before people start, of like getting your products covered so that finances never get in the way of your health journey. It looks like it's that time for that conversation. Are you open to me sharing more information with you now? And then Julia, yeah, sure. Okay, great. You did great on the first part. Like, do you know 3 friends that, are needing help, like are struggling with their health, that could be looking for the same things or more than what you were when you started? And then Julia is like, sure. Like she said, sure. Yeah, I think I've got 3 friends. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and write those 3 people down. And, who comes to mind right now? What's 3 people that come to mind right now? Julia, what would your answer be?
My answer would be Emily. Sorry.
You're okay.
Kelly.
Okay.
And Angela.
Okay. Emily, Kelly, and Angela. Okay, great. Those are great starts. So now we reach out to them and see if they're open to hearing more about what we have to offer for their health, because it's about them. We're going to be helping Emily, Angela, and Kelly. And so, Julia, we're just going to chat with them and see if they're open to hearing more about or having an open conversation about our products, or inviting them to one of the Why Plexus Why Now calls to hear a little bit more testimonies. This is something that I would send to them, and then you could send something, a copy paste, but make sure that they make it their own, of like, hey, Kelly, I know that you're struggling. You've told me in the past you've struggled with constipation. You've told me you've struggled with tummy issues and all of that. I just started a health program that has truly been extremely beneficial for my health. Would you be open to hearing more? So it's just starting that conversation with those 3 people in that same way. So you're going to have Julia send that message personally to each person that guides them into what they need, because not every person's going to have constipation. So you're like, okay, well, what is Emily dealing with? And she's like, well, the last that I knew, when we were in college, she dealt with, horrible. She drank energy drinks like no other, Then you chat with her like, okay, Emily, I know back in the day, I don't know if you still struggle with energy. It was one of my things that I struggled with too. And I just found something incredible. Would you be open to hearing more about it? I'm going on this health journey, and this has truly transformed my energy levels. And then that's it. So each person's going to have a different guided conversation. But then if, let's say, Emily's like, yeah, I've been actually looking for something. What does it look like? And you're going to be helping, like Cindy, you're going to be helping Julia. It's going to be a lot of training. All of us come onto these calls and I still go on calls all the time because we're constantly learning. And so that's the same with when you're building people to silver and gold and beyond. It's constant training and helping them find those people and continually find those people. And so like with Julia, I'm going to help guide her in every conversation, either inside the conversation with 3 ways. And let's say she finds those 3 people and you're like, okay, great. There's 2 options. You can reach out to them and text message them personally, or you can add me into a 3-way message. I can kind of show you. So the next time you see how it's done. Because the last thing you want is for you to be doing all of the work. We're training them to help them get their products covered, not you helping them get their products covered. You still are. But the thing with duplication is if you're always doing it, then they're never learning. They're not being taught what to do next. And so really, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say something I remembered
Megan. Yeah, you're
Megan
good.
Goff saying on one of our team calls a couple weeks ago. She said that she basically, with all of her new people recently, she's been saying, okay, do you know 3 or 4 people? You do you have their phone numbers? Okay. And if they don't have their phone numbers, do you connect with them on Messenger? And she basically has them at that moment say, okay, I want you to get out your phone, get that person on the line, not on the line, but text them. Let's get up a text and say, hey, I've been taking these supplements and they have done this and this for me. It made me think of you and some of the things that we've talked about, or maybe, they're, really into weight loss or whatever, fitness. And you could just basically say, we have a huge reset group coming up in January. I thought maybe it'd be cool to do it together. Would you be up for that? And she says she just has them send that out and then sees what they get back. And if she gets a response back, then she has them say, okay, what other health goals would you have on top of weight loss? Because the supplements have been really powerful in a lot of people's lives. And it would be, and they have a big sale that you can get when you buy that reset kit, if you add it to your order or whatever. And she says that she kind of just step by step walks them through each one. And then she said that's how she's gone silver, or gotten a lot of her people silver, is because she basically will just walk them through. And then if, like Cassie's talking about duplication, that's a super easy way for them to remember, oh, well, all I did was connect with them and invite them to the reset. And then after that, ask them what their health goals are. And then we can talk about what other supplements are good for them or whatever. So that really stuck with me because that seemed very simple.
Yep.
I don't know if does that sound simple to everybody else? I don't know if it's just me. Okay.
So send a message. So send, share, invite. It's it's like engraved. That's all we do. Send, share, and invite. So you're sending Emily, Kelly, and I forgot your other person's name. Angela. So we're sending them a message. We're sharing the information of why we believe this could be great for them. Then we're inviting them to something. We're not always going to have a reset group. Let's say there's never one, right? You're still going to invite them to something. And so that invitation could be a Why Plexus Why Now call, and inviting them to that, because those are all the time. And so that's where that is. I feel like sometimes we make it harder when a process could truly be simple, because then that person is going to be like, oh yeah, all I did was I found 3 people, I shared the information, and I invited them to a call, or I invited them in a 3-way with Julia, or whatever. We had a reset group going on. And so when that happens, then you get duplication and duplication and duplication. And that's the key we need to get better at, of really like helping people learn how simple this truly is. Because I think sometimes we overdo it. Same here. We overdo a simple process. And so
one thing I was going to mention too is when I first started last year, one of the biggest things that I did to almost every single person that I talked to was say, hey, I am still very new at this and I don't know all of the products. So do you mind if I connect you with my friend Cassie, who has been doing this for years, so we can get your questions answered? Because I feel like that really, it takes the weirdness out of it. Like you're not just like, hey, I'm going to slide you in with this person, and making it seem like salesy or scammy or whatever you want to call it. But you're basically giving them permission to acknowledge the fact that they don't have all the information. And then that person they're talking to is going to realize they don't have to have all the information. They can connect them back to another person.
Yep.
So that to me was super helpful whenever I first started. And the majority, Cassie, I'll tell you, I connected her with a lot of people.
Yep.
So that's something that's really, really helpful when you're talking to new people. take it off of them that they don't have to know everything. When your friends start asking questions, say, I don't know all the answers, but my friend Cindy's been doing this for months now. Do you mind if I connect you with her so she can answer questions I don't know the answer to? And it takes it off of both of you, honestly.
Yep. Hannah said the same thing. And you guys can always add me in a 3-way. The thing is you want to make that duplicatable. So it's not always me. So then, like, let's say Julia, you're always going to now be in Cindy's 3-ways. And then Cindy will be in her, you know what I mean? It'll keep
Yeah.
going down.
I've used Hannah in 3-ways before.
Yeah. Well, and
I mean,
because
and Shara.
yep. Because those testimonies, like their stories, are going to connect with that person. And so that's another thing, is if you know their stories, our team is great about that. You can add them in a 3-way for that. Okay, I don't want to take up, I have a ton that we want to do. So we role played a little bit. Hopefully that helped. I really wanted all of us to do it, but we're running out of time because I have a lot of things to talk about. Okay. So one, I know I'm going to be, okay, so I found my old ones, my old roadmaps that we set intentions on months ago. And so I want you to think about, when I say this, where does your brain go? Let me back up. Okay. One secret ingredient is having a rock solid intention. So this was my training today. I'm passing some of it to you. When we have intentions, it makes a difference. So for instance, when we have a trip going on and we've set an intention to do a reset, and you're like, well, crap, this messes up my reset. And now I've got to, mess up my, work through my schedule and figure out how am I going to get my reset in. You don't quit your reset. You find ways to make it happen when obstacles come your way. That is intention. And that's what we're going to talk about, is intention. If you have an intention to hit these goals, like a lot of us Emerald by July, if you have intentions to hitting those goals, obstacles are going to come your way no matter what. And that is okay. That's the beauty of this business. But it is finding those things, even when you can only work a little bit here and there, it is finding those intentional moments to do so, because you set a goal and a dream for your family and whatever that looks like. Okay. So she did this for us today. And I was like, I really wanted to do this. So know that you're going to be in the same seat for me for just a hot second. Okay. So she had us look back at where we were supposed to be by this month. Like, what was your December goal? And we had to send this to her months ago. By December, we were going to be at this point. And she's like, so if I look at your points right now, where should you be right now? And I'm like, not where I said I wanted to be. And so when I say, Julia, I had December for Senior Ruby for you, what does that do to you?
It makes me have a pit in my stomach.
You're not alone. And then same, Hannah, I had you for Senior Ruby in December too. And so when she said that, I mean, I was supposed to be at 1,800 points in December. I mean, the big goal was Sapphire for December. So I'm like, okay. And she said, what does that do for your brain? And I'm like, okay, well, my brain says, what did I not do? Why did I not hit those goals yet? What am I missing? Because I feel like I've been doing those intentional things. I feel like I've been doing, what I can. And she said, what are the obstacles going in your way right now? So she had us all, I took a video of everybody's really quick. So hang on. She said, so who's doing the winning day? Is everybody pretty much doing the winning day? So if I asked you, if we're all doing the winning day, she had us do this too. Who is actually doing 1 to 3 business asks a day? Literally asking about the business to do this alongside of you. And she said, be honest, and that's okay. And I'll show you everybody's here in a second.
Way to go, Cindy.
Good job, Cindy. Hey, 1, that's good. The winning day, we're supposed to do 1 every single day for 5 days a week. Right? I have to do 3 a day. 3. And so it was eye-opening. And she said, well, what obstacles are in your way right now? And oh, maybe I didn't take a screenshot. Darn it. Anyway, it was like Christmas, people getting sick, family issues, like everybody had their something, right? And she's like, yes, that's an obstacle. An obstacle is going to come in your way no matter what. But the difference is intention of having, okay, well, all of this happened, so now I can double up this week or do whatever, because my intention was to hit Senior Ruby in December or whatever that is, or at least get close to that. Now I want you to think back, what was it that you were enticed by to do the business? Like what dreams is that setting for you to do the business for Plexus? I'll share some that you think of yours, put it in the chat. I'll share some that all the Jules posted today. One was time margin, time freedom, needing to find childcare. That was what set them apart. They were like, I have to find childcare and I don't want to find childcare. The flexibility that this offers, time and finances. What was the other thing? More income, community, not putting Christmas on a credit card, get to homeschool, scheduling my kids first, being able to watch my grandbabies. Oh, wait, hang on. I got a video. I got to go back. Being able to pivot and watch my grandbabies on the fly, as in like she can do it no matter what because she has no job she's tied to. Self-growth is what somebody said. Not having to either stay at home. So she wants to stay at home and make money. Community, not putting Christmas. I did that. Being able to take my parents to all of their doctor's appointments without asking time off work. The other was able to be 100% involved and able to help all my special needs sons' medical, educational, and therapeutic needs. Saying yes to my kids. Being able to have family dinners and bedtime stories. Not having to stress about our credit card and having to sell things to pay for Christmas. Getting to volunteer in some of my son's classroom and be more involved. No stress around the kids being home for Christmas vacations, feeling great to be home with them and not have to put them in daycare. Are you guys seeing a trend in this? Like, that's how we should be posting. When we're posting about what we have to offer, it's hitting those triggers. Like, I'm grateful that I can be at home and being able to be with my children without the anxiety of asking my boss to ask off yet again. Or me being able to, go ahead.
It makes me think of Kim Johnson and all the sickness and like the stressing out about work and our husbands having to miss, like, and that you saying that makes me think her.
Oh yeah. And see, this is the good business ask for her and say, girl, I understand where you're at. Would you be more open to talking about, what we have to offer that would give you more margin and not having to feel stressed asking for off, with your husband and all of that. Because the trend and all these jewels of what made them see why they could do this, if you saw, was family. Like, it literally was all family or not being in credit card debt. And so this is a perfect time when you're posting, post emotionally. Think of triggers. One of them was being in the grocery line and not having anxiety of having to put food back. That was one of them. Not having to put food back at the grocery store because they couldn't afford it. So December is a great month. I started in November. December is a great month to really, you're going to hit tons of people's emotions with our business and why this could be a beautiful thing for them to lead into 2023. Now I'm going to have you listen to a few jewels and what their business asks are, because you have to make it about them. And this is what I was telling Julia right before the call. And I was like, we're going to wait. Is that when you're asking for a business ask, it's not about us, right? I mean, sometimes we see great potential in people and you're like, oh my gosh, but she's going to be a rock star because she's extroverted and she has a big, whatever market and blah, 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 right? But then you have to pull back and be like, but why? Like, why would she want this? You know, I'm thinking of a girl named Alyssa right now. She's a CEO now of, you know, she's doing incredible. She's like boss babe. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she would be so good at this because she's a huge network and blah. And I'm like, wait, back up. Why would Alyssa need this? And I'm like, okay, maybe right now I'm seeing her more stressed at all the phone calls she's having to do constantly and not being home as much because her phone is going off all the time. So I might touch in on that. Like, how does that make you feel that it looks like you don't have a lot of time in your day? How does that make you feel? And things of that nature, because it might not be for her. Maybe she's loving it at the moment, but I'm going to write her down and I'm going to start recognizing those things that I see, because later on, it might be a trigger point that she's like, Cassie, you know, when I told you that those phone calls, they didn't bother me. Now they do. Like that, my phone does not stop. And I'm having to wake up at 1 a.m. and rush to the hospital to go help another thing that happened. I'm like, how does that make you feel? How would you feel about making that kind of income from home and having a different kind of, you know, community? What would that do for you? Touch in what is in it for them. So I'm going to have you listen to a few Jewel ones really quick, so that you can kind of hear. We have to do this. So I haven't gotten to it yet, because we just got home from a Christmas program, but that's my goal tonight. I'm going to have you guys do it. I want to hear a business ask and how it would be emotionally. Like, what would it be if you were sending it to Emily or Kelly or whoever? What would you ask? And so here's some. Oh, wait, let me pause it. Remember Lisa from the Momentum movement? Remember the fun black girl that was like all in it? And okay, this is her. She's in my group. So hang on.
Or not before, but 2023 is going to be magical for us. And listen, I'm actually looking for some go-getters right now who have a heart for leadership and a desire to help people have better health. How do you feel about hearing a little bit more about that?
Okay, now this is a straight business ask. We're not doing emotion on these. It's a straight business ask. You see somebody as a leader, you see something, you're asking, and the fact that would they be open, because 2023 is going to blow up, would they be open to hearing more about a leadership position and what you do? Let me show you one more.
Hi there. So listen, I know we've never talked about Plexus before, but I'm sure you can't miss some of the awesome stuff that Bobby and I are doing over here. So we're excited because in 2023, we're looking for people who have a heart for leadership and people who just have a desire to want to help people have better health. And we thought of you. So my question for you is, what are your thoughts about hearing more about that? Talk to me.
Okay, there's one. Let me do one more. And I'm going to tell you, all these people are like,
hey, Marcy,
oh,
I know I've never talked to you about Plexus before and all that it has to offer. I'm being very intentional in 2023, and I'm looking for a specific group of people that have a heart for leadership and a heart to help other people achieve their optimal health. What do you think about hearing more?
Okay, now can you tell the difference between the first two and that one? That was the first time I heard those. What did the last one sound like?
She was uncertain. She didn't sound as confident and excited.
And she was reading it and trying to wait, but it wasn't reading well.
Nope. And so that's the thing is, people feel, don't let that stop you, but just make sure that when we are reaching out, you're saying it true to your heart. Like they can feel that without it feeling scripted. And sometimes before, when I first started doing this, I would send messages to myself and re-listen and re-listen and re-listen until it didn't sound scripted. The words flowed right out of me. Like, all right, Hannah, I'm looking for great leadership in 2023. And my friend, I see that in you. Would you be open to doing and seeing a little bit more about what I've been doing the past 7 years? Don't make it complicated, you guys. Like super simple. Now, those are straight business asks. Now, when I'm seeing Hannah struggle and I'm seeing her go to all these doctor's appointments and all these things, I have a feeling she wants more time margin and not having, thankfully, she's able to work from home, like do what she's doing now. But let's say she had to start working. Now, maybe she's starting to think of another job that she can start doing because of those finances and medical bills or whatever. I'm going to be reaching out to her and saying, Hannah, I don't know if this is something you'd be open to hearing more about. You guys, if you haven't gotten this book, I'm telling you, grab that book. Exactly what to say. Okay.
Hey, how thick yours is if you don't care. Mine is super I haven't read it. Okay,
Okay.
so huh?
Super
All
thin.
right. Okay, I ordered the wrong one. I mean,
Nope.
I've listened to it, I haven't read it. But anyway,
Oh.
sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, super thin, because that was his whole thing, is like, I want something that people can go through quickly, get the information quickly, and use it. And so that's what I love about it, is the open-minded is my favorite one that I've been using a lot lately. Like, Hannah, would you be open-minded into hearing a little bit more about what I do? I don't know if this is a good fit for you or not, but what I see is that you might need a little bit more time freedom or time margin, and kind of go into that, banter. Would you be open to hearing more? Okay. And then, so for instance, now you heard 3 people, and she even just said, oh my gosh, I was so nervous to let y'all even hear that. That was the one that was scripted. And so these are jewels, you guys, diamonds and jewels in this thread, and they're still terrified. So don't ever feel like, well, until when I get diamond or jewel, it'll be easy. It's still, to this day, all of us still struggle, which is why we're learning and continually learning. Okay, so big thing is, when you had intention when we wrote these, I don't know what month we wrote these, but I have a lot of these that say like, Hannah and Julia, I had y'all for Ruby in July. And then I had Stacy and Shara for Senior Gold in July. And so I don't know what month we made these, but our intentions were to hit these. And so all we're doing is we're going to find new ways to create those intentions for this month or whenever you wrote these down. You really have to find ways to do that. And the biggest thing is what we started at the beginning. Simple. Send, share, and invite. You're going to find your silver people. And no, not every single silver is going to go gold or want this business more. They just might want to get their products covered, and that's okay. That's why you always are continually, every single month, we all should be finding one person to go silver every single month. Easy peasy. I know it sounds not easy peasy, but really it can be. You're sending, you're sharing, and you're inviting. It's just more intentional work with each person. You're still checking on your people that you already have, but your winning day should be really finding that person, helping them step by step of reaching out to those 3 people. There was something. So Genevieve always drops, bombs our way sometimes. And she said, you make it happen because you are committed. You are doing the daily action to set your intentions to your goals that you set. You do it without fail or any sort of attitude either. She's like, you joined this group to rank up. You joined this team. You joined this business. Every single person listening or now, you joined this to rank up, not stay where you're at. You joined this for financial freedoms, for bigger goals, for bigger life, for freedom, or whatever that is and looks for you, your picture. She said, don't talk about why it's not working, because then that sets a negative tone to your brain already. You're already saying, well, I have all these other things right now. That's why it's not working. She said, are you doing the things? Are you doing your business asks? Are you doing the things you expect every single person to do without failing? Or are you distracted by the shiny things? Shiny things this month is a jacket. Jacket is great. Don't get me wrong. But wouldn't it be great to be Senior Ruby or Emerald and be able to buy 5 or 10 more jackets, right? So the big thing is, yes, it's a shiny, wonderful thing, but we're going to be helping people go silver this month. Help them get their shiny jackets. Because when you do that, you're going to create a much more sustainable business than having a North Face jacket and those 3 people fall off next month. You're looking for people just for a shiny object. And sometimes those things work. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I started doing stuff for a t-shirt. So here I am. You're going to have some people that will start doing things for those things. So don't set those people aside, but just be intentional on how this month and you work your business this month. And it really is all about helping people go silver. Okay. Now I want you to think about your posts lately. Are you attracting team members? And be honest.
No.
Okay. How would you post today to attract somebody? And don't say join my team. That was the one thing she's like, stop saying join my team. And I'm like, good to know. How would you attract business people to your community?
Post about, like you were just talking about, like I almost made this today. I posted a picture with Joel being sick and saying, I'm super glad that I don't have to worry about work today and I could just be here. So like doing things like that. And like you were talking about, it made me think about like the girls' Christmas parties, like taking pictures at their Christmas parties and posting saying, so grateful I don't have to miss out on these anymore or whatever, or miss out.
Yeah, that's a perfect post. Okay, she said, if somebody was coming to Plexus and they asked the top 5 leaders in the company about their business and what they're doing to get to where they're at, what do you think they would say? I'm asking you.
Ask that again.
Top 5 people in Plexus, top 5 people. And they're asking, how do they do their business? How did they get to where they're at? You know, what do they do? What do you think their answer is going to be?
Post about their life. I mean, talk about what has caused their life to be like so blessed, why they get to do what they do. I don't know if that answers.
There's no right or wrong, but it's more of like, what would you think their answer would be?
I think they would definitely mention duplicatable in what they share, like easy some systems, duplicatable, blah blah blah. I can't talk.
You're doing great. Cindy, have anything? Top leaders in Plexus. What do you think they're saying that got them to where they're at, or you know, to talk well about the company and how they got there? Think on that. I'll tell you what I said. You keep thinking. Me, I was like, they're bold. They don't care what people think. They're reaching out like a beast, and they don't let excuses get in their way of their goals. I mean, I think of like Christina Williams or Brittany Howard or any of those that I have literally been in leadership classes with. And I see them now and they're like almost diamond, you know, insane. And I just see that when they set their intention, like they don't let anything get in their way. They are rock solid. And the fact of like, you know, overwhelm, when it starts kicking in, they find ways and obstacles to, you know, create different ways to get it out and be like, okay, I feel overwhelmed. Here's what I need to do. They solve problems. When I see top leaders in anything, I don't see them, and I'm speaking to myself because overwhelm hit me not that long ago. I don't see them sitting in their wallow. I see them finding solutions, creating and doing puzzle pieces and be like, well, actually, I can do this and this will fit here. And then they find their ways. And so when I think of top leaders, I think of doers. I think of people that are just going to make it happen no matter what, because they set that goal. And so and the duplicatable systems. They're like, no, my leaders know. They know how to ask every single person to get their products covered. They know that we pride ourselves in this. They know the welcome calls and when they are. They know the why Plexus, why now calls and when they are. They know blah, blah, blah. Because they're creating that influence and that leadership trickles down. That's what I thought of when I think of people in our industry and how that would, you know, transfer over. Okay. Okay, so if you set your intention, let's go back. If you set your intention back, let's just say this was March, I can't remember, to hit Senior Ruby by December, what would that look like to solve that problem this month when it feels so heavy and so far away? What are some things that you can start thinking of that could create that goal path for you, that yellow brick road? Or gold, Cindy?
Just consistency and getting time and doing, like, in my head, I always think of like baby steps. Like you got to just move forward. Like you got to do something. What is that what you're gonna say?
Hannah will tell you.
But that's what I could think of, because that's like just especially the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, but not to use it as an excuse, but my schooling is ending and I'm trying to get all of that stuff wrapped up. So I get busy doing all of that, and then I run out of time. My kids get home and then I'm exhausted. So I just need to be intentional about making sure it happens.
Hannah, you gonna tell her?
Yes, poor Cassie. She had to help me constantly, and I would just send her like this picture of baby steps, like little baby footprints, because everything's like baby steps. Can you
Yeah.
explain this to me? Baby steps. It was all the time, all the time.
So
I'm
when
better
you
now.
said that, yeah, when you said that, it was so good.
Yeah, it only took her a couple of years of training me, but I'm better now.
That's okay. We all have to start somewhere, like we all do. But when you said baby steps, I was like, oh, I love it. Okay. So the other thing that she had said that was so key is no one has an endless amount of time to do Plexus. Nobody. We all have our own schedules of life, right? Not every single person has an endless amount to do Plexus. Not even me. I feel like I have a lot more time to do Plexus than some people, but not all of us have an endless amount of time. But you can condense the amount of time when you have a super focused, one singular thing that you're going to focus on. So for instance, tonight, you focus on reaching out to one business person and asking a business ask. That's an intentional, condensed time that takes 5 minutes, right? The next, like you set timers, you intend to rank XYZ, because when you tell your brain, I'm going to hit Emerald this month, I'm already aligning my brain with what is future and what's going to happen, because I know it will occur if I'm speaking truth and life into it. And I'm already creating that urgency and that tendency that it's going to happen. I create a deadline. If you do not create a deadline, this is the problem I think with goals where it stops people, is because I think that when we create a deadline and we don't hit it, then our brain says we're a failure, right? And that's not the truth. It just means our deadline's moved. Our deadline moves one more month. We don't move it months out. We move it 1 month at a time. And we continually increase. You don't want to decrease your points. You want to find where can I find 100 points right now? Where can I find 50 points right now? Okay, I can help these 3 people go silver. I can help these 2 people go silver. And moving that deadline is not failure. It is meaning that you are truly setting that intention to move and continually grow. Instead of falling back and continually moving your goalpost. Be like, well, it's February. Now it's whatever, right? It's like, no, let's set intentions to maybe get halfway through to this month. Maybe you could hit it this month with reset. That's the thing. I feel like sometimes we're like, well, everybody's overwhelmed with Christmas and everybody's overwhelmed with everything else. It's the last thing I want to do. And people with finances, we do not know every single person's financial setbacks or whatever. Who knows? This might be exactly what they need to create extra income, or exactly what they need for a solo wand or a gift for somebody. And then now they come to Super Saturday with us in January and they go for it. I will tell you, I talked to 4 homeschool moms on the fly today at a coffee shop, and 2 of them I invited to Super Saturday at the cabin. I was like, I know this is super weird, but we had an hour-long conversation and we talked about gut health forever and how everything aligns. And if you want a little bit more gut health training and everything, I would love to have you come to Branson with us. We're going to have a great time. We're going to be at a cabin on the lake. And I gave them my information and they're like, oh my gosh, really? Tell me more about it. So I didn't know them, but I have been praying for people like that to come into my life, to be able to help and see the bigger picture of what we have to offer. Okay, so don't neglect reaching out to people you don't even know. You just never know what's going to happen in that. So the biggest thing is when you are asking other people, do not end with a yes or no answer. And this was something that was powerful for me. Like, for instance, if I say, which most of us are probably are, if you're doing the reset right now, are you hungry? Your answer is going to be either yes or no, right? But if I change that and I say, I don't know, something different to where it's not a yes or no answer. When you're reaching out, you want them to reply mainly with a yes. Like, would you be open-minded into hearing more about what I have to offer? Or would you be open-minded into hearing about the recipe that I'm about to cook in 2 days? Sure. You know, you're less likely to get a no with something like that. When you're reaching out, try to find something that doesn't end people with a no. What was the last thing I want to talk about? We're already over time. So posting business, make sure that you're posting 2 to 3 times the problems that people are having. Like I shared those things, like you know, Joel, being there for Joel today and not having to ask off work because you're already there, or being there with your kids because they're sick, things of that nature. Like for me, it would be feeling guilt tripped, whatever, on asking my boss yet again to not be able to come in and be like, sorry, my kid's sick again. I gotta be home. Things like that. So the last thing that I want us to do is 2 things. I want you to reach out to your silver person that you wrote down, and we're going to take 5 minutes. I only need you for 10 more minutes. If you can hang on for 10 more minutes, that's all I need. 5 minutes. I want you to start the conversation with your silver person and help see if they'd be open-minded into helping get their products covered. And why? Why do they need that? So reach out to your silver person. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do 1 business ask before we're gone tonight. That's it. So you already did half of your winning day. So got it? I just need 10 minutes. I'm going to set a timer so we do it. And I'm going to stop the recording because we won't need that part for that. So, because it'll just be quiet and we're going to be working.